Katie back again. Now we're going to talk about some tomatoes. So one thing I get a lot of people asking me about is, why are your tomatoes so small? Well, that's because I don't believe in overstretching a tomato. A tall tomato does not mean it's a more advanced tomato. It just means that it's stretched. You don't want to have your first bloom 1.5 to 2 feet off your plant. Why? To me, that makes no sense. So we do our tomatoes, we do keep them a little bit on the drier side. That stops them from stretching so that we have a much more nicer, shorter, compact plant. So if you want to take a look at this plant, okay, it's about 6 inches tall, but there's its first bloom going to start. So it doesn't mean a taller plant is a bigger plant. You want to have your bloom small on your plant, and that's our goal. We have lots of our tomatoes in a 4.5 inch pot. We also have our tumblers in a 2-gallon container and in a 12-inch basket. And with these guys here, you have to make sure, please, to give them fertilizer for tomatoes. If you ever get that black on the bottom of your tomatoes, that's caused from stress and also lack of calcium. So try not to dry your tomato out. If you dry your tomatoes out, you will, chances are good, you're going to get that black little rotten spot on the bottom of them. If you do, pull those off. Don't throw your plants away. Just keep proper fertilizer and make sure you maintain your watering on your plants so that they don't dry out. Another thing that I'd like to talk to you guys about is that this year our weather's a little cooler, so people are buying their stuff. So how to help keep it healthy for you guys until you're ready to plant. So number one, try to keep your plants on the drier side, okay? Once they get too wet, and if they can't use up all that moisture, that's when you're gonna start getting disease problems in your roots, and you're gonna start getting mold. So the drier you can keep them without killing them from lack of water, you do have to water them, but do try to keep them on the drier side. Try to get them outside into that sunshine. A lot of people are keeping them in the garage. That's fine. We're going to talk about planting and pruning 101 on tomatoes. So on your tomatoes, if your tomato does happen to stretch, you can take your tomato and sink it down. Pull your bottom leaves off, get it down to as deep as you can in the ground if it's stretched, so that most of that, it'll grow roots out of its stem and you guys will be just fine. When you're pruning your tomato, you've got your main stem and then you've got your leaf coming out. We call these the sucker leaves. Yes, they will produce tomatoes, but it's going to take away, so your tomatoes aren't going to size up to a nice size. So when you're doing it, you've got your main stem, you've got your leaf. This is the little guy that you're going to pull out, okay? Again, your leaf, main stem, this guy here is the one that comes out. Sometimes you'll have to go back over your plant to redo it because they might grow back again. But that way you're going to get a nicer, bigger tomato on your plant. With these guys here, why we don't grow in a 6-pack, a lot of people ask for that too. We like you to have tomatoes in like end of July, beginning of August, not end of August. $2.99 a pound, tomatoes can get expensive. So when we've got blooms and stuff already, because these are more advanced, you are going to get tomatoes earlier. One of these plants should produce probably close to about 8 pounds of tomatoes, weather permitting, 8 to 10 pounds. So you figure that out, guys. That's a huge, huge saving for you. So try to get your tomatoes, try to get them with your blooms, not stretched, healthy plant, nice green, and on your way, you'll be having fresh tomatoes early summer.